I like how you said it. I was watching the interview. You said he's just, a man without a planet. And, now
Yeah.
he feels like he's something bigger than himself, but he doesn't know where to go. He just
Well, the
knows
great
he's
thing,
part of something big here.
but the great thing is that the bigger thing isn't him. He wants to be a part of something. Like his parents they're gone. They got destroyed. So he wants to be it's that search for to be a part of something. So like I have a great family, my daughters, my wife, but then I also came from a great family with my five brothers, two sisters. We're still close. I mean, we'll be together tomorrow, and my 23-year-old turns 24 tomorrow, and we'll all be together. And the the thing that I sometimes take for granted is that family, and then I meet kids or other adults who don't their joy at it, like being accepted and being part of something and being called out on stupid things that we do or whatever. It's really cool to be reminded that, talking to you guys feel like family to me in the sense that I experienced you over a period of time. And now I'm talking to you, and you still have my respect. You still have all of that. But at the same time, I feel like if I need to call and be like, what is AC Milan doing? Like I can have
Yeah.
that
Oh
conversation,
yeah.
right? Like I could literally sit with you and be like, this is nuts. Or, like, hey, did you watch? It's funny is I almost did. Did you watch the most recent Bad Batch? And why, I'm confused about that. And I almost did. And I was like, whatever. And then life gets in your way and you forget. But like, it's like if I feel like
Yeah.
me personally, if I feel like I can make that phone call
Oh yeah.
and I've crossed a bridge with you, whether you went there with me or not, I just, and that's what Mando is. He's building a family around him. He's got his foundling, he's got grief, um, Fennec and Boba. What are we if we don't help each other out? Like there's you people who use you, and then there's people who, um, we need to do things in life. And that's what we are. Like I love doing this show because I get to talk about doing the other show I do, and hearing the
Exactly.
questions from you make me go, oh yeah, what about that? Oh, I forgot about that. Or and it's funny. This is script one, chapter
Oh,
one,
Wow.
oh,
and I
geez.
got
Unreal.
You got
you
that
got
thing in your hand.
I got, Tuesday, Thursday, Nicto fight, and then I go,
Oh,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was when me and IG-11 were going down, and we were going to do, he was going to self-destruct for the first time. I will self-destruct. No, 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 no. Let's try something else. All right, you go out there. And then I let him go out there, like all that stuff. It's like, I don't know. And then I can think of the people I did it with, the people behind the camera, GSP, Baz. I mean, like, yeah, like that's family, and this show is family. And
yeah.
then I get to hear your experience of, Ahsoka coming out in the swords, and I'm like, I experienced the same thing, and I saw it in person, and I still
Yeah.
was overwhelmed seeing it on the screen. So yeah,
I even remember when you were talking about seeing her do some of season three, and you said it was going to be epic that you were allowed to go in there and see that. Of course, you couldn't give
oh
a detail, but I was just like, wow, that must have been so unreal. You know why we're like you though? We appreciate what you appreciate. And if you can say America, I can say
100%.
America. And you know
right.
what? I just saw I don't know why I was on YouTube and I typed in John Wayne sings, and what came up was this thing he did, and what they were singing was "God Bless America,"
Oh yeah, no,
Oh
he
yeah.
he
and he
gold record.
Oh
had
yeah.
It's a
so
gold
many
record.
stars behind him. I lost count.
You have no idea. I'm not kidding you. He made
Yeah.
an album, and it's called God Bless America, Why I Love
Wow.
Her.
Yeah.
And it's him doing
That's what I.
like is it Bob Dylan who pretty much speaks his words?
Yeah.
Okay, it's literally my grandfather's version of that, and he's singing it a little, and he has a gold, like now it's probably platinum, I don't know, but like it blows my mind. Like I'm like, I have a CD of it. It's
cool.
unreal. But yeah,
cool. I make a joke a lot. I'm gonna ask, because crazy things are happening in the world, and I see something, and I'm gonna ask Brandon, what would your grandfather say?
Yeah,
I'll see something happen that I'm not even gonna say.
I'll tell you right now. He would say, get off your asses and have your voice be heard. Don't let the squeakiest wheel lead you. Get up, vote with your wallet. That's how you will change it.
Yeah.
It's not, yes, go vote, hit your.
I heard very smart guys say, vote with your wallet.
Vote with your wallet. Like, you want something to change?
Sure.
Yes.
Try something else.
Makes total sense. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the way we produce out of season fruit, things like that, right? So because it just doesn't make sense to me. So okay, so what can I do? Oh, I can just eat in-season fruit from local farms, whatever, like go I would have called, by the way, hippie style, but it's not. It's what we're trying to do is promote what we love. That's why I do this show. Like, I promote this conversation because I love it. Like, I'm here.
Sure.
Oh, even if I was just a fan and you'd said, hey, I know you're a big fan. Can you come on? Let's talk about this. Oh God, I'd be honored, just like I am now. And it's those things. If we don't, it's why, just a little detour. It's why I coach, not just my kids I don't have any allegiance to, other than I wanted to do something. Because we can yap about it and people can, try to virtue signal me on social media. But I know what I do every day. I go out there, and tomorrow we got a playoff game, and we're going to go out there, and these girls are going to give everything they got because it means something to them. And I'm a part of that because I get to support them. And all I did was make a commitment to try to help the community around me. If we all did that, you watch how politics change. You watch how our global view and where we send our money and how all those things change, because all of a sudden people, there's no doubt we always have room to improve in the way we approach our history, in the way we learn from our history, in the way we approach people, learn from it. As long as we stay learning, like Mando, we have a chance. And America isn't bad inherently. There have been bad things done here. And it's not just like anybody else. Let's even it out. I mean, there's been bad things done here.
Look at Mando. Violence can be used for good.
Absolutely. And the road to fucking hell is paved with good intentions. So if we don't check those, who can put us on roads, our idea that, hey, I'm going to vote one way or another straight down the line, you're an idiot. Get educated. Go vote with your money. 100%. Go vote with your money. Nice. Have civil discourse. Have disagreements.
Do the homework.
But don't
do the homework.
Learn. I've learned so many times where I thought I was like, oh, I got this, blah, 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 blah. And maybe that's because I come from a big family and we all have an opinion.
You come from an honorable family, though, who cared about America and did honorable things. They didn't go want to mint that coin because they like coins, bro. No. They thought it would be a great thing because he was a patriot.
Well, and he represented a bigger idea that even he, as a human, not the actor that we celebrate so much, never hesitated to admit when he was wrong. Did he sit there and talk about his regrets and whinge about it? No. But did he privately make differences in areas without drawing attention to, make everybody feel good? No. He did that constantly. And that's what I was taught. Get out there and do it. If you believe in it, get out there and do it. Don't be afraid. If it's something bad, you'll find out real quick. But once we stopped, my daughter told me today, the more the society spills the tea, and I was like, what does that mean? She's like, gossip, Dad. Spilling the tea. Give me the tea. I was like, okay, whatever. She goes, the less serial killers they have there. And then she broke it down. I was like, oh my God, that has to apply beyond just the serial killer ID. Because if the community is talking about what's going on around them and it's a constant and the information is flowing and it's, for the most part, knowledgeable, it's hard to get by with things. Now, if we are all buried in our work, trying to pay the bills, trying to, make sure our kids have the newest Jordans or even shoes on their feet, then how are we ever going to look around us and make sure, the neighbor's kid is in the yard when they're supposed to be, or just checking in. Hey, I saw your dog come out. Did you want, the dog out? Oh no. Okay. I got you. I make sure I do that. Our neighbors do that here. And with that kind of, I don't know, we're so inundated that sometimes we forget to just look around us. If we did that, I think we'd see a big change in what was represented, whether it was politically or financially. Like, we'd have some mom and pop stores, and the government would have to dismantle monopolies and protect us from, predators financially abroad and here.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real, 1%. That's a big number they got. And there's nothing wrong. Hey, you know what? They got there. They let them do it. So how do we counteract it within the 10 billion laws we have here? You know what I mean? It's like, you think about, like, in Mandalore, if I take my helmet off and it's with another, human.
You're not a Mandalorian anymore.
Mandalorian.
No.
So
that's going to be great, how he goes and tries to figure out how to be forgiven or whatever he calls it. I cannot wait to see that.
Where's his path? Where do we go? We're a clan of two now. What are we going to do? Like, obviously, I'm going to go see my old buddy Grief, and I see Pelly because she's like, "May the force be with you." But do I like? And I just mean this from a fan's point of view. Like, do I want to go back to being a Mandalorian with so many questions that, like, Bo and Axe and Casca raised in their view, and then being around Boba and watching the way he interacts and honors that armor even with his helmet off? Like, does Mando need to do that? Does Grogu need to be a part of that? That's a pretty exclusive approach they have.
Well, I've noticed this about Mando. He'll make a rash judgment right away. Cobb Vanth is a good example. He'll get that thing off right now. Or we're doing this right here.
I'm going to drop you, son.
But he's also a reasonable man. And
in his own way.
Yes, in his own way. He
did shoot Grief, but the only thing that saved his life was the Beskar.
It has to have an element of honor to it,
right?
For him to react well. It's kind of like you and your family. What you're doing,
all of us, I would assume.
You would think that, right? But I'm not going to say anything bad.
No, you can't. You don't want to do that, but you do. If we look through whomever's eyes we want, most of the time, the drive to things is with the idea of honor, but it's the context of my eyes is different than yours, is different than, and that's what I've learned from kids. Kids that I've coached a lot is, oh man, it's very interesting. You guys don't have that same perspective. Not as me. I assume I'm old. I'm beyond that. But, like, even my own kids, and then the kids, at a different school and a different environment. And you're like, oh, and then my kids get around them and they're like, wait, Dad, they don't really care about these 10 things that I've been told. And then you all of a sudden, you allow them to get back and do that thing that we lost for a couple of years, which is interact. And my God, it's magic watching it. And then I can get back and watch my kids grow up and not be like, okay, no. You're this, you're like on a chessboard, you're my pawn. I'm not raising them because at 18, they got to be able to do their stuff. Not all of it, but I'm raising my kids to be independent, not to be dependent. So Mando, the foundling, Grogu, the kid, that's 100%. He's us. We want those around us to be independent. I would like them to agree with me, but if they don't, I'd sure as hell like to know why they don't. And it better be clear and it better be based in truth.
And that's like America too, being a
No,
foundling. You're brought in, you're trained, you're brought up, you're cultivated, you're nurtured, and you're turned loose. And people are going to understand soon that even though bad things are said about America's not, we don't want to dominate. We want to be the blueprint that everyone follows.
Yes. And the biggest thing we can show is the ability to learn and adapt, because most empires could not, and that's why they failed.
Yeah.
So let's be different. And let's be different. Mandalore, why did we fail? Maybe we'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh God, that sounds so good. So many questions. Gosh. Well, what do you think, Mark?
No, that's been good.
I know you guys wanted to do
another
another whole soccer thing. I could keep talking Mandalorian for 2 more hours, so you might as well just cut me off right now, Brendan, because I know
I can compare my soccer team to Mandalorian.
There you
right? Go. That's awesome. I can't wait.
Does Arsenal have a team?
How are you doing this on the down low?
Yeah.
I mean, by now everyone's like, Mandalorian, the guy in the white shirt.
Exactly.
I had a dude who came to one and I signed some stuff for him, and then he came to another and he's like, I got a few things more for you to sign. And he pulls out a suitcase. I'm like, nah, we're done. Cheer.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny. Like the North Hollywood high school coach.
Yeah.
Is so fired up about coming over to me. Mind you, this is a guy who's won, I think, 2. I know he's won the last like 3 leagues.
Wow.
He's won 2. So I'm wondering why he's all excited to come over. I'm like, dude, what's up? And he's like, my son loves the Mandalorian. And I was like, oh my God. Then it turns out his daughter is a photographer for Angel City. She saw me at this event, posted some pictures of her photography. Like, it was this weird, but it was Mando brought me into a certain level with a soccer coach who's very established, very successful, whose asses I'll kick next year when I have a full season. But we got drubbed, but they went undefeated in the league. But he was so fired up, and he was great. But it's that connection, finding those little connections where you're like, this is weird. Like, this is like in a cool way, but like, whoa, mind blowing. I had a kid on the JV team that we played against. Maybe it was Arlita. I can't remember. But
Arlita.
Like, yes. And she was
like,
oh, dude. And they were rough and tumble. But they were, she kept going. And I heard it like as I walked away. And then I turned to the coach and it was Verdugo. It was Verdugo Hill.
Oh, okay.
I was like, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And she just played. I just congratulated her specifically. I was like, you were really great. I think her name was Sophia White. I was like, you were really great. And then she was walking away. She's like, oh, can I get a picture, man? Can I get a picture? And then I realized, and I was talking to their coach. I was like, hey, if she wants a picture, what's her name? And then he told me, and I was like, hey, if you want a picture, just come over. And she was like, no. Okay. Like, it was really funny. And,
people are like starstruck, bro.
Well, and I'm on I'll tell you right now, like, and hopefully I took a couple GoPros out there and I tried to kind of do I'm going to try to do like a documentary of this and what we're trying to do. And maybe it's probably more than likely we'll have to film throughout the off season into next season to get what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But I really do want to present to everybody in this LA specifically. Um, what a first of all, what an incredible group of kids that we have out there, and this constant idea. Like when I was growing up, like I went to Catholic private all
Well,
boys
so
high
did
school.
I until after 10th grade. I said no more because it's so expensive.
I mean,
You
I
know?
didn't have to pay for it, so I'm like, there was no way.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was paying for it, so I'm like,
My
you know,
mom was like, "You're going. You
yeah.
need some values, kid. You're psychotic," and she was 100% true. So I was the last of 6 boys who had gone through there, and yeah, we were legend or infamous, one of the two. Uh, and it was like every other year. I mean, every other boy, they were like, "Oh, God, one of you's a genius. You're an asshole. You're a genius. And so it ended with me an asshole. So she went her. So I go to these schools, and if we had to play a city school, it was a big deal. It was like, oh, well, we know they're not going to be disciplined. We're going to beat them. We came. There's no, like what we didn't recognize, or what I didn't recognize. I'll speak for me, which is the reason they don't always go to practice or things is because they had to have jobs. They couldn't stay from 3 to 5 and then do 2 weeks of hell week at the school, sleep in the gym. They couldn't do it. I had a girl who could not come back after winter break because she had to pay for her grandmother's funeral. She had to work. Like that is,
yeah.
And I know I'm John Wayne's grandson. I didn't grow up as crazy lavishly as you might think because I was the last of 8 kids. My grandfather had 7 kids.
Sure.
It was a very different thing. My parents were divorced. But I definitely had a lot more advantages.
Yeah.
My God, like it never even dawned on me. But I knew I wasn't going to lose to a city school. It wasn't going to happen. So I never did. Like no chance. And no, I mean, I'm telling you right there,
Yeah.
we would have been so embarrassed. I feed these kids that material all day. Everyone expects you to be undisciplined, to be weak, to not show up, to never, and I, especially early on, because I wanted to try to get that chip firmly implanted on their shoulder. I'm like, you guys didn't have a coach till November. Our first game on November 6th or 2nd was our first practice. Our first game was the 10th.
Wow.
What kind of advantages do you have? I didn't even get to get you in cardio shape. We're just getting in shape now. So like I go at them that way. And it is that perspective. Think about it. Like Mando, he comes from Death Watch.
Yeah.
Very different than where Bo's clan and that whole history and the monarch kind of establishment that they have.
Which is weird, dude, because Death Watch took their helmet off.
But not my crew, right? Like, why is my crew so different? Why does
I saw in the trailer multiple helmets, 0 faces. But so on the Clone Wars one, those guys did actually take them off. So I'm so eager.
But why does the armor? I'm always wondering, why does the armor say I can't have my helmet off? So maybe we find out. I hope so. But I do know this. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a real good time. Like really, really good time.
And I'm so glad you're having a lot of fun with your soccer thing. Even though people are making you sign suitcases full of stuff.
Yeah,
so,
that's crazy.
I remember you were talking about that.
Yeah.
You're speaking out that the funding for girls sports is just not there, and I was wondering if you made any forward progress on that initiative.
Yeah, well, then the bureaucracy to be able to raise money and for good reason. There are plenty of coaches apparently, not here at Grant, but like who, like the wife shows up in an Escalade all of a sudden, and you're like, wait, we're in a city school. I think we make about $2,000, which just goes right back into all the paint we put on the field. Like, what are we doing?
Wow.
Like, how did you pull that off? But I'm right there. We're about to do start doing the fundraiser so that we can get a physical trainer, so we can prevent injuries. Like I'm literally a pseudo trainer. I have my training table out there. I tape all the ankles. Anybody goes down with knee injuries, like I've had to do my best triage in so many
Right.
different ways.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Like
you know,
Mr. Miyagi out there, right?
There you go.
100%,
Fixing people.
100%. I'm like,
Oh, jeez.
go
Yeah.
this works.
Are you okay? Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Give me some
I'm like,
ice.
rub
That's all
dirt
I
on
need.
it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Great.
But you know, and then you have to, it's really funny. You have to stop these kids like 100% from hurting themselves. Like really, like I don't like. I have some kids who are like, you know, you said if I don't practice, I can't play. I'm like, yeah, there's different levels of that, and that's when you're injured and we're in season, or you're banged up. I need you to take days off so game time you're ready, because otherwise you overuse yourself. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, okay, so this is how we work. This is what I need. I need you to get sleep. And I'm going to send messages to your parents. And all your teachers know that your homework needs to be done. So they check with me. I check with them all on Friday. Did this homework get done? Okay. Like I have to do it because if I'm a parent, I'm a parent. If somebody can help me out with that, that's not in my house, and be like, hey, you need to get your homework done, then I'm not the ogre all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
it's that those kind of things. And that's where I mean,
That's an engaged
about,
coach.
yeah, I mean, but
Good for
you
you.
know, I check with I check with the parents. How's your kid feeling? You know, she took that wrist shot. Listen, I know she's going to tell you she needs to come back. She does not need to come back. We need to slow down. She doesn't get paid for this. Seniors, I'm a little bit more like, okay, how much of the threshold can we push? Because this is their last season in high school. And I remember mine. I remember my freshman. I remember my senior. And like, I don't want them.
Yeah, man. You push
Go,
yourself,
oh,
bang, injury.
yeah, like I need them to find that balance. So it's a juggling act, but it's cool.
You're the perfect guy for the job.
You are. Yeah.
I'm hoping.
It's like 50 spinning plates.
Yes. But I get to, this is the other thing. Like, I get to do it with my kid. She's my co-coach.
That's right.
And she'll clown me if I'm doing something stupid. But, you know, she also is incredibly strong, smart, supportive, played the game in a way that I never did in high school. And then to college, like, she's at a different level. And so I try to inspire the troops and, you know, try to just tweak little things. And she is 100% demands their commitment, their absolute discipline and their focus, and gives them the plays within it. And then we just tweak them. And every day, you know, I have this board here, and it's got, you know, fundraise, choose a couple dates for the banquet, choose food for the banquet. We got to get their hoodies done. I'm trying to get funding so that I can get it so that they don't have to buy their hoodies, even though I was able to get it at a really good $20 a hoodie thing. You know, like I'm just trying to give them an experience that nobody else has ever thought of.
Yeah.
You know, they had a coach who called him fat last year.
What?
I swear to God, yeah. And I swear to God, I'm telling you right now, I ever find this man.
Yeah. Wow.
I tell you, I hope he's watching this. I hope he's a fan and just found out, and he knows that if I find you,
put the suit on and hit him on Halloween.
Yeah,
there you go.
If I'm in my N1, I ain't gonna miss, son.
No.
But you know, like these, they mean the world to me. And then I don't know. It's really cool, right? You know, we're going into Mando season 1 or season 3, and I could fly away with a big head and be like, oh yeah, there I go. Oh yeah, that one's me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ha 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 ha. But how could I look at these kids if that's who I was? Like they keep me so honest, because it's, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I wear a helmet. It doesn't
No.
matter that I have a cool show. It's nice. It's cool for them. But once we start practice, they aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about, is he
No.
going to make us do these sprints all day?
Oh,
my
the
God.
sprints! I remember
Can I-
those days.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I lock my ankle?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hurts when I'm kicking. And, how do I snap my hip into it? Like, I'm just coach at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest thing when I'm coaching my kids, we're going to go to Vegas, February 24th, 25th, 26th, my club team.
Oh,
And
nice.
we're going to go there and play. And, they're just coming back into training. And when my kids forget that I'm dad and they have to say coach, and they don't have to, they say coach, but what, like, I inside, I got the hugest smile. I'm like,
Ah.
I've done something.
Nice.
They're in their place, and it's just it's really cool. Yeah.
I know how that feels, having two
Yeah.
boys, yeah. Two teen boys, and
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're like respecting what you're doing and want to be involved in what you're doing, it's just like there's nothing like it, bro.
No, because there's so many moments where they couldn't care less that you're asking them to clean up their room. It is clean. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's not
Oh,
clean.
yeah.
I could get staph infection if I go in there.
Yeah.
That is so goddamn true. Oh, well,
Girls or boys, like I have
oh,
girls.
boys are so gross.
I mean,
Yeah.
My buddies decided to tell my kids some stories about me growing up, and they were talking about like he told me, and then it flashed in my head, and I was like, why? And I used to do it all the time. I would not take a glass of milk out of a bedroom for a long time,
Mhm.
to the point where it's separated and part of it was
Yeah.
cheese. And my buddies would walk in and be like, "You are so disgusting." And I'd be like, "Whatever, dude, whatever." And then my mom would walk in and it would be like, "I'm gonna get my ass whooped." Like, oh my
Yeah.
God. And they
Yeah.
would tell my kids, they're like, "Oh, did he just yell at you about your room?" Hey, let me tell you about the time. And I'm like, "Dude, come on." Hilarious.
Yeah.